He's one of the only men to ever hold a belt in 2 weight classes. A top pound-for-pound fighter and the best lightweight of all time, he's the prodigy. And he's arrived on MMA Confidential. Hey everybody, I'm Cara Castranova for inasectv. BJ Penn is considered to be one of the greatest mixed martial artists on earth. Recently, the Hawaii native took a trip to New York City to promote his newly released book, Why I Fight. Bruce Kivo found out firsthand from BJ himself.
I'm Bruce Kivo, MMA Confidential, here with the prodigy, one of the greatest fighters of all time. BJ, what is this book going to tell your fans, and what's it going to give the world, the MMA world, to learn about you? What are you going to explain in this book?
Just a one man's journey through a mixed martial arts, and a lot of people only get to see what happens in the ring, and this has a lot of what goes on around the ring. Just different dealings with the management or different organizations who want you to fight for them, and it was a chance for me to get my story out. A lot of people speculate or say different things about me and stuff, and it's my chance. You can hear from the horse's mouth.
One thing with BJ, everybody knows, he doesn't hold back. He's always saying what he feels in his heart. So I think with this book, people get to see from his perspective how he came into, how he got involved with mixed martial arts and training and becoming a champion, and all his tribulations he had to go through with everything.
And it's a chance to tell people that you're not a traitor. You train with Health Gracie. In this book, it explains it. Do you feel that a fighter's got to train with other camps in order to get better?
I definitely, a fighter has to go and do what he has to do to get to the top. That's just the nature of the game. You can't only train in one style. You have to train in all the styles, and you have to train with as many good people as you can if you want to get to the top.
Here with the great Mrs. Penn. What do you think people are going to learn about BJ Penn in this book that they didn't already know?
Well, a lot of times people just see BJ as a fighting person, and I was just really amazed because it sounded just, like BJ was talking, and he talked about his lifehood, about his values, and a lot of it I didn't know, like your kid is fighting from when he was born, and pretty much I didn't realize it was an education for me to realize that my son was a street fighter and got into a lot of fights, and I used to tell people, my son's a good kid, he never gets into fights. And when you're growing up in Hilo, and where there's not so much things you do except fighting, that my boys are probably always in the mix, but it just shows his background, what it took for him to be the fighter, what got him interested. Wrestling. His favorite wrestler was, what's his famous name? Hulk Hogan.
Oh, Hulk Hogan.
And then his famous movie star was Rocky. So all of that was all fighting idols, and so I think he was very excited. He started reading magazines when he was 4 years old because he really loves the sport. And I guess he just never knew he would grow right into it.
BJ, what's your favorite part of the book?
I guess I really like how I get to tell my whole life story growing up as a kid and going through high school and kind of moving to when I got into mixed martial arts.
BJ.com. Title back, bro. You got rock.
Abu Dhabi, regarding the fight.
Frankie fought a good fight. He did what he had to do, and at the end of being a fighter, you always think that you're winning the fight. But at the end of the 5 rounds, the judges gave the fight to Frankie, and here we are today.
Why do you think he got the W?
Maybe the judges liked his style more. They liked how he was performing or whatever, and he got the W.
Is there anything you would do differently next time in the fight, when you get a rematch?
I think there's some things I could do, but I would try to do similar game plan. Just keep trying to hit him and do some takedowns and stuff, and see how it goes. Just go out there and do my best.
Thank you for the time, BJ.
Thank you.
From a lightweight champ to an up-and-coming lightweight hopeful, Lyle Beerbohm has been making strides in StrikeForce, but he'll have his work cut out for him when he takes on jiu-jitsu specialist Vitor Shaolin Ribeiro on May 15th. While Beerbohm is known for the fancy pants that he wears into the ring, he's also had his share of obstacles to overcome. Bruce Kivo sat down with Lyle to find out more.
Bruce Kivo, MMA Confidential. I'm here with Lyle Beerbohm. rising star for StrikeForce, MMA fighter with a very interesting story. Lyle was a meth addict, went to prison, beat meth. What brought you to become a cage fighter while you were in prison?
When I was sitting in Walla Walla State Penitentiary, I was watching the Ultimate Fighter reality show on TV. I was a meth addict for many years, and when you're on meth, you don't do anything besides do meth. I was watching and I was like, are you kidding me? These guys are, are on TV making money, and I just knew right then and there that that's what I was going to do when I got out.
And you had 3 fights in prison. Tell us about those fights, because you were undefeated in prison also, right?
Yeah. I had a few. I actually had 2 fights in prison and a few fights in jail. It's a little bit different, but
how did those fights go down? What happened?
Those are scary fights. I go in and I'm going to the urinal to take a pee, and I go in there, and all of a sudden there's this big old huge black guy. He's 260, 270 pounds, 6'4". He's beating up this little white guy, littler than me. I mean, really beating him up, putting the boots to him, really doing a lot of different things to him. I'm like, geez, man, are you gonna quit? Tapped him on the shoulder. I said, I think he's had enough. That guy turned on me a split second, and all I thought is like, what did I just do? Why did I just break it? And he came at me, and he was a big, ornery man coming at me. And he came at me, threw a couple punches, and I ended up just double-legging him all the way to the wall. Finally got him to the ground and did what I did, My mom and dad came and got me, and on our way home, we actually stopped at the first MMA gym I saw. I had my dad pull over, we went in. I fell in love. I started grappling that right then. The guy threw me a gi.
The guy took you in right away.
He says, go ahead and grapple this guy. And so I started grappling. Big old, huge 230-pound guy, grappled, did really good against him. 8 days later, I had my first cage fight.
Wow.
A little over 2.5 years, I sit here with you. I'm 23-0 with 22 finishes. I'm 13-0 as a pro. I'm actually in the process of writing a book. My dad's ghostwriting a book for me. I'm going to be in the EA Sports video game. There's a lot of different things that I'm going to be doing.
So you become a rising star in StrikeForce, along with guys like Robbie Lawler, Kung Lee. You got Dan Henderson. So you're becoming a rising star in MMA.
I'm 13-0. 12 of those being finishes. I fought Gerald Streebent. He's a UFC veteran.
Dwayne Ludwig, who's fighting for the UFC.
Yeah.
That was a great fight.
Rafael Oliveira, who's fighting in the UFC right now. Yeah. And so I feel like I should be fighting the top level competition. But when it comes down to it, I'll do whatever StrikeForce wants. 2010 is going to be a big year. My only goal is to be the champ. I want the 155-pound title.
What's the deal with the fancy pants? How'd you get that nickname? What's that about?
My mom actually, she's 69 years old. She loves to sew. I came across this fabric in her workroom, and I knocked the dust off of it. That's how old it was. I says, Mom, you got to make me a pair of these. And what it is they're really colorful spandex shorts.
Oh, cool.
Spandex material, like the 80s material.
Yeah.
My mom made them for me. I wore my second amateur fight, and all the girls were hooting and hollering, and the guys were laughing and booing, and and it was a hit right from the get-go. And
cool,
and that's how I got my nickname Fancy Pants.
These are them?
Those are the fancy pants. Them are it,
baby.
So I gotta thank my mom for those.
If they work picking up chicks, I'll get some.
Want more? Go to inasectv.com to connect with the world of sports. Real-time updates, blog postings, and all the action you can handle in a sec. inasectv.com, connecting you to the world of sports.
That's it for this stacked edition of MMA Confidential. For Bruce Kivo, I'm Cara Castranova. Thanks for watching.